Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very honorable to be the first presenter here in the Operation Forum. First of all, I'm very excited to share the good news with you because I'm so excited for whole night till now because we got the big prize yesterday evening at the honorable dinner. The new orchestrator and the control prize for ZTE. Yeah, I'm from ZTE China. My name is Hague. So I'm very excited. So recent days, I'm very excited to hear so many topics about the automatic operation and zero-touch operation. But it's ideal architecture for all the operation men. But how to achieve it? So today, I'll share this topic, the carry DevOps, and carry artificial intelligence helps all the operator to make all the operation daily work more intelligently. Sorry, the presenter maybe.
You got the wrong slide.
Yeah. Can you change it? It doesn't matter. Yeah. Wait for a moment. Yes. So I think all the operator, but the operation is a little complex concept for it. So we think we should make the operation do some basic monitoring and do some configuration work, but I think it's the traditional way. So what's the intelligent way to help the operator to achieve all the capability of the operation? So first of all, I should start my story from the typical scenario for the operation. Here, when we're opening the huge industry park, there are so many enterprises who want to enter and migrate into it. So all the enterprise want that operator provide the service as he wants. Yeah, like the video conference, like internet access, like the video access, like the cloud desktop, like a dedicated network for the enterprise, and so on. And like everyone, you go to the restaurant and pick up the favorite food as you like. That is the requirement on the on-demand self-service. So that means, what does it mean? That means in the future network, there are so many requirements for the operator to provide a different service to the different customer. And especially from the multiple industry, because there are so many scenarios in the future, 5G year, even if especially the typical scenario for the EMBB, for the MMTC, for the ultra-low latency. And fortunately, we have the SD and NFV technology, but we should converge them together to help the network more flexible, for scalable. But so how to convergence of the SD and NFV is an inevitable trend of the network. But there are two visions of how to converge the SD and NFV. There are two visions. Maybe there's an argument, but I don't think it's an argument. Maybe it's a discussion about the two scenarios. When we start from the NFV or build up a new center for the cloud, we deploy and develop all the new service and applications on the cloud in the center. Then we consider we should establish a connection among all the data centers and make all the services can running normally. That means first NFV, first cloud, then next network, next SDN. Another vision is we should consider that we should build up a network between the enterprise branch to the central data centers. Then we deploy or develop a new service like a virtual firewall, virtual EPC, virtual CGNet to make the more application, more services. That is the first SDN, first network, then cloud, then NFV. That's a little bit different, but I think the purpose is the same. So even if for option 1, option 2, we also must have to face to the challenge of the integration of the SDN and NFV. Even for the technology-driven, we have the SDN NFV technology, and then we should use this to help the service innovation. And for the network, the purpose for the network is we change the static network to dynamic network. In another word, all the network could be programmable, even provide the open API to other systems, and use the common architecture. And use in 5G, we use the network slice to provide a dedicated service to another dedicated enterprise user. And here is the network. It's the programmable network. But for the operation, the request for the operation, it must be provide agile, automatic, especially intelligent operation. Everyone knows the purpose of it. And for this purpose, we should consider involve some new technology to support it. As our perspective and promotion is the DevOps and the artificial intelligence. But I should emphasize here, it must be the carrier DevOps and the carrier artificial intelligence. Everyone knows the concept of the DevOps and the artificial. I don't want to elaborate it. But I should mention the carrier. What is the carrier? And we should combine all the DevOps and the artificial intelligence, AI, together. So first, we should check carrier DevOps. As the standard specification of the DevOps is a set of series methods with some methods to communicate, to collaborate or integrate among 3 departments, like software development and quality assurance and and operation. Then the purpose of the DevOps is to help the new service innovation more quickly as possible. But for that carrier DevOps, that means we must add more carrier telecom characteristic or features into the traditional DevOps, especially for the stability, reliability, high performance, and strict security. Yes, that is the carrier of DevOps. It's very important for the telecom operator. So we should have tools to implement it, to help the user deploy or launch the new service as quickly as possible, especially within 1 week or 2 weeks that we can deploy the new service. And if there are some exception or disaster occurs, then we can self-fix the network automatically. And it seems that in industry, there are good or better, excellent architecture for the operation. Come back to my first slide. If we want to establish a network between the enterprise to the central data center, we should define this function, this service. Use the dev part to define all the network from here to there, define all the port from here to there, and define some policies, static, elastic policies, and so many content. Then we deploy all the service. In another word, establish the connection automatically. Then operation department take charge of this task. Went into the operation domain. That is the monitoring all the network automatically. If there are some exception occurs, the predefined policy performed that can self-fix the network, rebuild, reconnect the components. And at last, if there occurs, we do not know at the previous period, then we should involve another technology, that is artificial intelligence. I'll mention that in my following slides. So for the important component or part is for the dev. Dev means development or design. What can be designed? What can be designed? So for the carrier design, I think the most things for the carrier DevOps dev is for we have so many carrier-grade components inside our repository, carrier component repository. It must have so many features of the telecom I just mentioned, like reliability, high performance, strict security, and so on. So next, we should orchestration and develop. What can be developed? There are two layers for it. First of all, we should develop the fundamental resource. We should mention we just not the virtualized network, even if from the legacy physical network to the virtualized network. And for the SDN network, we should cross the SDN1, SDN2, cross the SDN. Even if we have the long SDN network, we should consider how to connect from the non-SDN network to the SDN network. And even for the 5G, we have network slice for it. That is the resource. We should allocate all the resource for the network, design all the resource, and allocate flexible. And the next, very important, up layer for the service. For the operator, you should consider what's the service the customer like? What's the service the enterprise want? So we should consider the individual service, residential service, enterprise service, a lot of service for the different users. And for the application video stream and from the social software, and some intelligent service chain, make from one node, one element to another element, And for such mobile services, a lot of service on the network I mentioned just provide a different service to the different users. That is the key features or the characteristic in the future network. And after we design the network, develop the network, we go to the operation. The traditional operation mode is to monitoring all the alarm, all the performance data, and if there are some data to config, we use the command line or interface to enter the command line. That's traditional. But the efficiency is very low. For the future network, zero touch. This word mentioned in recent days. Everyone said zero touch. But how to zero touch? The key point, I think, that is that we should predefine some policy. If we define some policy, then we have condition, action. Condition, action. If something occurs, like satisfy the condition, we can perform the action. It's the simple policy to it. It can make all the network running or keep the status normally. But if there are so many things we cannot recognize how to get it, how to predefine the policies, we must consider another technology. That is the artificial intelligence. What the purpose? I think the major purpose of the artificial intelligence to the telecom industry, that is one, keep all the network or analysis the network from the history data, can get some rules to analyze the root cause of the history data. Then we can predefine some rules to prepare the future exception. Another way is prediction. Because there are so many things we cannot recognize that during right now, because maybe there are some things we don't know it. So if we get the rules we don't know, we can use it on the network, then we can pre-optimize the network. So the first thing, the root cause analysis based on artificial intelligence is mostly get from multiple domains, even if from two areas. One is from the online project, especially using our experience to collect all the data and generate the new rules for the root cause analysis. Another is we can put all the experiment on the laboratory. Just now, we put, for example, I should mention the actual experiment. We put 2 million alarms to a repository and retrieve at most 30 rules, new rules for the alarm correlation. 30 rules. This 30 rules is not known by our city vendors because it collects from the artificial system. Then help us to predefine the policy, then we can analyze the future alarms, then get the root cause. So all the technology is served for the purpose, the destination purpose. I think the major purpose of the operation, one, is to increase the user experience, to help the user use the operation system very flexible, very convenient, help increase the user, even if for the end user and the subscriber. And another is reduce the CapEx and OpEx to save the manpower, save the human resource. Yeah. Then this is the purpose of the artificial intelligence. And make a summary. So DevOps and artificial intelligence, what's the purpose? Can serve for multiple kind of the people. For example, for the developer, we can use these tools to define the new service as quickly as possible, from the design part to the deploy launch process, then to the operation process, and can generate a new service. I mentioned within the destination or the object is 1 week, one new feature. And the second, to the customer. Maybe for the operator, the future customer is most from the enterprise. Enterprise want to adjust his network slice, or some network by himself. So we should provide a dedicated interface to him to adjust some key important parameters by himself. So these tools can provide this capability to the enterprise customer. And for the operator, the major task for the operator, and provide a stable network, sufficient service to the up-layer customer and the developer, even if for the third party, another partner's services. So I mentioned that all the idea, we should put all the DevOps and artificial idea is very important, not just for the operator, not just for the vendor. Because traditional DevOps is for the coding developer, but also for all of the enterprise, from the developer, customer, and operator. So at last slide, I mentioned all the good idea, bad idea should put on the commercial project. ZT Cloud Studio helped these ideas to put on commercial project. So this is the inversion of the legacy OSS to the future network. From now, we have the legacy OSS to manage all the legacy element. So next step is we have the virtualized network function. So we should deploy the dev and DV part and the operation part to manage all the all the virtualized network, and to help the operator to service innovation quickly. At last, at the third step, which involve the big data or the artificial intelligence technology to help all the operation work to the real automated, real zero touch. So this is our speech for the DevOps operation. Thank you.